So, good evening and welcome to today's section. Welcome to week 2 of our class. I trust week 1 was great and I trust everyone is able to move through the slide and understand what we have. Alright, without wasting much of our time, we'll be moving into what we have for week 2, and we'll be seeing the design processes we have. But first and foremost, before then, I would like to make a quick recap or a quick breakdown of our tasks for week 2 before then. So it's already uploaded on the resource drive. You can see it here. It's already here. So the assignment is broken down into 2 phases. First, you're expected to make your first post on Twitter, talk about what you've learned thus far and what you hope to achieve at the end of your learning program. You have to tag those 2 personalities. Then the second task is a team task. Work with your team members using Whimsical, create user flow, using the experience/feelings of a possible user from the problem statement of any of the following 3 apps here. You have to pick either of the 3 and you have to create a user flow using Whimsical. Okay, for those that were not in the class on Saturday, after watching the tutorial online, I'm sure you'll be able to navigate and have an idea of what we did. Then you can be able to attempt the assignment. Alright, moving straight to our design process 1. We'll be talking more of sketch, task flow, mood boards, then getting started with business case study as time will permit us. Okay, moving on, we have sketch. This is where all our designing activity starts from. Every brilliant design begins as a vague idea. Okay, the design for the Super Bowl trophy was first sketched out on a cocktail napkin. That's before you can create or you can actually bring something beautiful out, you need to forward draft it down, be it you working on an app or a website. Now, just like we have in architecture, that's the if you want to build a house, you have to forward draft out your house plans before working with the engineer to actually bring what you have in the pictorial format or on the paper to reality. Same thing with design. Before you can actually create beautiful screens, beautiful UI screens, you have to forward draft out your ideas and see through the ideas. The design world uses the term wireframe to refer to the initial sketch or outline of your idea, whether that's a website app, whether that is a website, an app, or landing page. A wireframe is meant to be visually simple, using basic shapes to indicate text blocks, buttons, and images. Before we proceed, I want us to just have like a quick view of what a wireframe is, like a pictorial view of what a wireframe is. Okay, we have this. This is just a sample of a wireframe. You can see it uses shapes, text, no colors attached, no beautification or no gratification attached, no. Just using shapes, block, and rectangles and text to actually depict what we want to do. Alright, moving back. This simplicity is intentional. Elements are easily rearranged for quick integration. Now, the use of this text button and image is very just to bring simplicity out. Remember, in a case whereby you have to change through or navigate through, you can easily rearrange them instead of you spending much time trying to change colors or trying to start afresh. Now you just have text and buttons or images or blocks. You can just quickly integrate or quickly make changes to them without no much stress. Alright, what makes a great wireframe tool? Let's start with an honest disclaimer. You don't need a dedicated app to create an effective wireframe. Yeah, wireframe, you actually don't need a dedicated app. You can use a pen and paper the manual way, and you can proceed ahead to using FigJam, Whimsical, and numerous wireframing tools. that we have out there. Flowchart apps, for example, provide ample structure for a basic wireframe of a website design. In the course of our class today, we'll be looking at what a flowchart is also. Alright, um, flowchart apps, for example, provide ample structure for a basic wireframe of a website design or sitemap structure. However, they aren't created with interface designers in mind and lack more advanced visual editing tools like object opacity. Now, what I just want us to understand there is that these tools or these apps that we want to use to create our wireframes, they are not really advanced with many visual editing tools like opacity, trying to resize or trying to play around different designs and effects. No, they are just simple and basic for you to actually pen down your ideas. Alright, wireframe apps, on the other hand, assume that you're going to want to refine and improve your design before it's ready to be handed off for further development. Now, another reason why wireframes apps are very simple is because if in cases whereby you want to redefine or improve what you have, so you can just easily maneuver rectangles and texts and button styles to easily achieve what you want to achieve. Not only do they make space for you to create your rough sketch and UX flow, but they also include few standout elements. That one thing I want us to know. So we have a user flow. Moving straight to our user flow. What is a user flow? User flow is the part taken by a phototypical user on a website or app to complete a task. Now, user flow is more of a part. Before we proceed, let's just have like a pictorial view of what we want to study, so we can actually get what we have. Okay, this is how a user flow is. A sample of a user flow. It's just using shapes and lines to actually link and connect what we have. Alright, user flow is the part taken by a phototypical user on a website or app to complete a task. The user flow takes them from their entry point through a set of steps towards a successful outcome and final action, such as purchasing the product. Now, the role of user flow in web and app design. The user flow is a basic for content requirements on web pages or app screens. Beginning with an understanding of user needs helps the product team build a user flow and experience that is designed to meet those needs. Now, for each user flow, the question you need to consider are: what is the user trying to accomplish? Before you come out all wide trying to make your user flow, you need to answer this question: what is the user trying to accomplish? Is very essential. If you don't actually know what your user wants, you might just go about paraphrasing from one decision to another decision without getting the key components of what you want to achieve. So what is the user trying to achieve is key, something that is very important for us to note. Alright, another important question for us to answer is this: what is important to the user and what will give them confidence to continue? It's not about you trying to achieve what the user wants. What exactly will give them confidence to continue using that app? The features you're trying to implement, is it very important to the user? If they see this component, will they be able to move ahead with what they see? That's one thing we also need to consider. Okay, another thing we need to answer is this: what additional information will the user need to accomplish the task? Now, trying to draft out our rectangles, our beautiful image that we have up there, trying to bring it out to reality. What are the other necessary information the users will need to accomplish this task? If these informations are lacking, a user won't be able to proceed, won't be able to enjoy the benefits or the joy they're meant to derive using the app or the site. Another thing is this: what are the users' hesitations or barriers to accomplishing the task? What do you think might look like a barrier to them using this product you want to bring out, maybe an app or a website? What do you think might be the barrier? What do you think might be the hesitation to this task? The answer to those questions will inform how you design the pages and determine what content and navigation links to include. If a user's primary goal is to browse various items, your page or screen will offer different design and functionality than it would have if their primary goal is to purchase a product and move on. I think this last statement is very, very clear. Now, having a user that their primary goal is just to browse through various items, check through different things, or try to make comparison between different things, they have more pages or screens with different designs and functionalities showing those items they have to browse through than someone whose primary goal is to purchase a product and move on. I think that's clear now. Alright, moving on to how to create a user flow. I want us to know that when we want to create a user flow, there are three. Okay, we have a major shapes we use in depicting stuffs. Now the circle is for the action, while the rainbow shape is for decision, and the rectangle is for display. So now, how to create a user flow? We should always know that there is always an entry and there's always a close. Once we enter through the app and our final destination after we've achieved what we want to achieve. Now, this is it. We have our entry coming on board, trying to download our apps. Now, after downloading the app or after inputting the website link, what do we see first is our entry. The first display, you might see a landing page, you might see an onboarding screen, you might see a splash screen. All depends on the functionality embedded in that app. Now, we have our entry. Then after the entry, the welcome, maybe the welcome note, or trying to give you a detailed idea of what this product is. Then you should be able to select your tags and move on. If you're able to select your tags, if yes, if it's correct, you move on to the next action. If no, you should be able to go back to the previous step you missed, or you should be able to trace your way back to the previous steps you missed and try again, and make sure your user actually gets that pleasure or that joy or the achievements they are meant to get from using this product. Alright, moving on, we have a sample of a user flow. The sample of a user flow, this is a typical login or sign up flow, and there is a create documents flow. Now we have a login or sign up. Let me quickly explain this. Now I come on board after downloading my app. I want to log in. Okay, I open the app. If I already have an account, I will log in. If not, I sign up. Now, already signed up, yes. Then I enter my email address. If no, I have to set up my account, enter the necessary details I'm meant to enter, then create password. After creating password, once I click on create, I should be able to move, as a user, I should be able to move through to the next action, which is to create a document. After creating a document, after clicking on creating a document, I should be able to choose whatever part I want to do. Maybe I want to go to the settings, I want to adjust some things in the settings, or no, I want to go to the resource area to actually continue or create a template and proceed with whatever task I want to do. So that I should be able to select my next action as a user. Alright, moving on, because of our time, I want to quickly explain a mood board. Yeah, a mood board. This sets the look and feel for your next UI design project. Alright, before I proceed, I want us to do a quick assignment. I think there are so many things already uploaded on the tasks for this week. You're meant to create either a Behance portfolio link, Dribble or Uplabs. You're meant to sign up on them and share your portfolio link to the Slack channel, and share your portfolio links to the Slack channel, and so that we can follow each other back. I think that is clear. You should sign up on either Behance, Uplabs, or Dribble, and you can sign up on the three of them. It's all your choice. Then you send your portfolio link to the Slack channel so we can follow each other back to back. Alright, moving on. A UI mood board. It's a great way to set out the look and feel of a new UI design project without having to produce new work. Alright, instead of arranging existing screenshots, videos, text, and links to evoke the style that you're looking for. Alright, it's an incredibly effective way to communicate your ideas quickly to the wider team. Let's have like a pictorial view of what a mood board is. Okay, this is a typical sample of a mood board. It's all about you going online, seeking for inspirations from online, what other designers have done on this particular project, and bringing them out, trying to compile them together. Okay, wow, I love the button style on the screen. Let me implement it in what I want to work. I love the way they use the background images here. I love the way they use the text. You're not actually copying word for word, because plagiarism is actually a great thing. apart from great scene in the main sense, it's actually a great scene in the design world. You don't plagiarize, you don't copy what other people have on board. All right, so you can actually get idea or get inspiration from what other people have. Now you bring all those design styles together, you compile them and try to, okay, bring them close to each other so you can actually get inspirations or try to get ideas from them. All right, moving on. Building a vision for your project without Milano. Milano is actually like an app you can use to do compilations of screens, and you can actually download those different screens and try to paste them on your Figma board. It's well welcomed. It's well welcomed. All right, that's for the mood board. All right, moving on to design process 2. All right, now what we'll be looking at in this section is how you will apply what you learn. The user interface, the user experience program final project provides you with an opportunity to synthesize your understanding and apply the core concept of user experience design. Designing a simple restaurant app, a sign up, and a login home screen. All right, moving on. We will be launching into our Figma board and we'll proceed from there. Alright, trying to open my Figma. I think by now every one of us should have a Figma account, should have downloaded Figma on his or her system, should have downloaded Figma on his or her system, should have signed up, and we're good to go into the design world now. Trying to design. Alright, as my Figma is loading, just like what I said in the class yesterday. Figma, you can actually use Figma to collaborate with other fellow designers. That's why the team task is also there for us to start collaborating from now, so we can know how it feels to collaborate together with one another. Alright, my Figma board is loading. Okay. Alright, I have list of tasks opened down. Okay, alright. So this is what I have. Okay, these all we played around with yesterday in our class. Alright, these are mood board. We have the screenshots. Now remember I said we have the notebook so you can be able to get ideas or inspirations. But what we'll be doing in class today, we'll be playing around some of these designs, and we'll be trying to learn the basic key component of this. As you can now see, this is a mobile app screen. Always note, when designing with Figma, you make use of your frame very well. Your frame is very, very key and very, very essential. Just don't click on any type of frame and try to resize it to what you think best suits you. No. Now, clicking on our frame, we have different types of frames. We have for the phone, we have for the tablet, desktop, watch. It all depends on what we want to do. So for the class today, we'll be using our iPhone 8 Plus. Alright, having this. Okay, what we'll be doing is we'll be designing this first screen on our mood board. Yes. So I want to point us out to alignments, grouping, and how we can actually proceed with the key component. Now moving on, we have a background image on this. For us to be able to get our background image, we can actually pick our images from Pixel Perfect or Pixel.com. Now, okay, but before that, let's just make like a quick sketch of what we want to work on. Now, we have our thief to type our text. We have our rectangle to create our shapes. So clicking on the rectangle, so we can actually draw our shape. Okay, this is it. Now we're done with our rectangle too. Now, for us to create a curved edge, we click on this corner. We change this to 20. Now, one thing I want us to note is this: Figma actually uses color code. Now, clicking on this rectangle, you can see that the color code for it is C4. Now, to change it to color white, we can use our F. F is actually for white. 6F is white. Now, we should note that there's an effect added to the back of the rectangle. For us to create those effects, we click on our +2 under effects, and we have, Okay, let me zoom so that we can actually see what the effect is. We have different types of effects. We have the drop shadow, we have the inner layer, we can see the effect is brought out, we have the layer blur, we have background blur. It all depends on what we want to achieve, but for this the sake of this class we're using our drop shadow. Okay, now opening drop shadow, clicking on this effect settings, you can actually change the direction and the position of your shadow. Yes, of your shadow. Now let's use C4. Okay, no, this color code is also cool. Is also cool. Yeah. So we can see that we already have our shadow effect at the back of the rectangle. Now moving on to our text, we have the abundance life food. Alright, now we have this. You might click on your text too, and when typing, let's say it all goes this way. For you to centralize it, you come to your this text section, this text align center, and it goes. Now on the assignment I gave us last week, I made some comments about alignment and grouping. Now alignment is very, very key. It's one thing for us to just click on this and try to use our artificial eyes to centralize or to bring this to the center point. Now to us visually it's looking, oh, it's already in the center, but no, it's not in the center. So for us to achieve that, we have to align to center. But first of all, let's create the exact fonts we'll need. Our font style, we have, okay, this using, sorry, let's use Montserrat. I actually like this font because it's bold and legible. Even the elderly people can read it. Alright, semi-bold. Now trying to align this text to the center of this box, I click on the text first. Pressing my shift key down, I click on the rectangle second. Now, and I come here, I click on the align tool. If you notice that there was a shift, Ctrl Z. Okay, I click on the align tool. So there was a shift. That means this thing is exactly in the center. Now, for us to move ahead, we're trying to replicate this. For us to get the exact color they use here, you can press your I on your keyboard. It will give you this pencil. So you use this pencil to actually pick out the exact color that is available there. And it's going to give you, okay, now let me go over that again. I click on my text. Then I press my I key on the keyboard, that is letter I, and I try to pick out the exact color on this. But one thing I want you to know is that when I zoomed out this thing, the image was blurred. So for us to just achieve something clean and clear, we actually use a navy blue color. You actually use a navy blue color for it. So you can click on your fill. By clicking here, this rectangle here, it opens this, then you click on your fill color. That if you don't actually know the color code for color blue, you can use that process. Alright, moving on. Alright, let's quickly, okay, moving on to the next stuff. We have our text. Clicking on our text to continue our design. Okay, let's just use a dummy text. Okay, let's just use a dummy text. Copy and paste. Okay, a dummy text to really achieve what we want to achieve. Reducing the font size and making it regular so that, okay, we have this. Alright, we have this for our text body. Now clicking on this, I want us to play around something now very quickly. Now clicking on this, maybe we don't like the spacing in between. We can actually improve the spacing by clicking here, clicking on the text, and here we have 25, for example. That's spacing in between lines. And if it's in between words, you can actually use this one to space in between words. I hope that is clear. So we have this. Now moving on to the next section, there's like a pagination menu down there. Now for us to get those pagination, if you're very good at drawing, you can actually try to draw them out. I think they are just groups of circles or so, but if you're not, we have material icons where you can quickly go there and get those icons. I actually dropped the link on the Slack channel. So you can click on them and you can copy them out and you paste and you make use of them. So trying to reduce the size of this, we have this. Trying to reduce the size of this. Control D. This should be in the center of this. That's why alignment is very, very key. Please, alignment is very, very key in whatever we are trying to achieve. Alignment is very, very key. It will make your work look very, very professional. Okay, this, we try to align this to the center. Alright, now we have our two subcircles beside. We try to reduce the font size because it should be smaller than the main call to action, the main one that's actually showing, depicting what we have. So selecting the color, we click on this and we effect that color on it, making it 100%. So we can, now there's one thing I want us to know. In between here and here, if we want to know the duration of this person, we click on the first one, pressing our Alt key or Alt key on the Windows system or Option key on the Mac, which just hover over the next object, it shows the duration of spacing. Now clicking on this and hovering over this, it shows us the duration of spacing. But in a scenario whereby, let's say for example, I clicked on this and over on this, I'm having 15 here, but clicking on this and hovering on this, I'm having 21. All what you just need to do is click on the last one and shift it back with your arrow key and try to determine the spacing back and try to check out the necessary spacing. I hope that is clear. So now trying to make these three components aligned in the middle, you click on the first one, pressing your shift down, click on the second and the third, and you align it. You click on this align to make them to be centrally aligned. Now that we're done typing in our checks, for us to get our background image, I said we use Pixel. Yeah, Pixel, you can actually get high HD image. This is pixels.com. Pixel.com will actually take you to a site whereby you can get high HD image with good resolution depending on what you want to achieve. You can search for whatever you want to achieve. Okay, let's say secretary, for example. You can actually search and you'll see cool pictures of what you need. But if you're not too cool with this picture, if you have sharp HD pictures, you can help boost up the community. You can join and you can upload your shots also, so that other designers can also use them, because you're also using someone else's work too, free of charge, without paying. Alright, back to business. We have, okay, this is it. We have different types of pictures, all depending on what you want. So now, to save our time, we're actually looking for a food basket or so, because we're designing more of a food delivery app. Okay, let's just quickly use this picture to save our time. Alright, free download. Yeah, and we have our picture being downloaded. Now, how can we get this picture into our Figma board? Now, clicking on this angle, place image, that's pixel. There is the picture here. You download, you open it, and it appears, once you click on the picture, it appears like a plus with a picture close to it. So you click on the frame. Now we have this, we have to adjust our picture. We can actually reduce our picture angle to actually give us, okay, we can actually reduce the angle. Yes, after reducing the angle, if you notice, the picture is it's covering our text. It's covering our text. So I want us to just note this. All what you just need to do is click here by the layer, click here and you bring it down. That's one way. Another way is this: you right click on the picture, send to back. It will send it to send it behind. So that's for this first screen. We could not actually use exact image that they used here because we're just trying to walk through the process. Now I want to put us through grouping. Now, opening our designs, we have our paginations. We have this icon that serves as the navigation between pages. Once you highlight three of them, you do the highlighting by clicking on the first one, pressing the shift, click on the second and the third. You press your command G, that's what the keyboard shortcut key. Then to group, here we have group 1. We have to rename this. We right click on it, I'll click on our rename. We have it as pagination. Now, for us to group our text, if you don't want to use the shortcut key, after highlighting, you right click on it and you see group selection. It also performs same. So it's grouped this. So we rename to text. So whenever we're trying to design something, maybe we want to achieve a button, we have a rectangle on our text, we have to group them and we have to name it the right name so that a fellow developer can easily access or really easily know the different layers and assets we have on our designs. Alright, good and fine. This year will be pausing for now. I want to give us a chat whereby you have to, okay, I shared the link to this on the Slack channel. You have to come on board and actually practice the remaining screens here. That's another additional chat. Alright, moving on to our slide to save our time. Okay, this is a picture I use for the mood board. Yeah, this is a picture on the Figma file. The Figma file is also on the Slack channel. You can open it and you can view it at your own will. All right. Next class we'll be talking on the design. We'll be talking on the design finally 3. That's the prototyping and displaying of tags. So what's next? What you should do? You need to understand the problem statement of the business case study. So this is actually leading us to our next section in the that will be on Saturday. That's next week. Okay, understanding the problem statement of your business case study, identifying the use and functionality problem of this case. So you have to read up on this and have ideas. You can actually reach out to me, but in our next class we'll actually be focusing more on business case study. Alright, so that leads us to the end of today's class and today's section. Once again, let me quickly go over the assignments. We have our first task, which is the personal task. You're expected to make your first post on Twitter, talk about what you've learned thus far and what you hope to achieve at the end of your learning programs. So you have to tag these 2 personalities. Your team task, you have to work with your team member using whimsical, create user flow, using the experience feelings of a possible user, just like what we studied. You have to create a user flow for for any of this app. For any of this app, you have to create a user flow. Alright, and other assignments, study the following. You have to read and review various design case studies from Medium. You have to sign up on either of these 3 and share your portfolio link. This is the rule for the assignment submission. That's the team task should be submitted via this link on or before Friday, May 21st. Alright, while the practical aspect, you have to open the Figma link and create a new document on your own end and try to practice what we learned today. I hope at this point, this is a good point to say, all said and done, you have to do the practice by yourself. You have to practice by yourself and reach out to me. I'm very much open. I'm very much available if you have any problem. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate. Stay cool.